mission statement and profile of Yemeni Americans. Some of our missions include developing better relations between the members of the Yemeni community and other communities, develop lines of communication with the local, state governments of current crime in our neighborhoods. We want to serve as an advocate for Yemen American community. We plan to focus on educating the Yemen American community on the power of voting and the importance of the participation in the local, state, and national elections. To encourage the Yemen Americans to register and vote and hold fundraisers for candidates who will better serve our communities. I would like to move a little bit into the history of Yemeni Americans. Yemeni Americans are of Yemen ancestry. According to Yemenis American Association, over 250,000 Yemenis live in the United States today. Although it is unknown when Yemenis first arrived, it is believed that Yemenis immigrated to the U.S. sometime after 1869 and are recorded in the 1890s. The biggest immigration of the Yemeni people began in the early 1930s and doubled in the 1970s to flee the impoverished conditions of Yemen. They simply came to America looking for a better life. Many Yemenis came to America to work in the automotive industry in Detroit, Michigan, and Youngstown, Ohio, and have remained home to the largest, Michigan has remained home to the largest percentage of Yemeni American population. Many of the first generation Yemenis came to America many years ago and have since retired and have had children that have gone on to be very successful in their chosen profession. Today, many Yemen Americans are professionals in many fields, including first responders, nurses, doctors, pharmacists, and business owners. For example, the metropolitan Memphis area has over 2,500 Yemeni men, women, and children. The Yemeni community owns over 250 businesses. Let's move on to our let's go ahead and move on to some of our guest speakers. Let's welcome our first guest speaker. He is an inspiring multilingual speaker, sought after from the US to Canada to the Middle and Far East. He was born in Eritrea in Northeast Africa and moved to the United States at the age of 15. He has a bachelor's degree in Islamic Studies from the Institute of Islamic and Arabic Sciences in Virginia and received a master's degree in marriage and family counseling from California State University of Long Beach. He has served as a religious leader of the Orange County Islamic Foundation in Mission Viejo, California. He was the director of the mental health department at the Access California Social Services in Anaheim, where he helped families with different challenges in their life, including but not limited to domestic violence issues, communication problems, marital matters, generational gap, difficult teens, mental and personality disorders, and single parenting. We are fortunate he has joined the Memphis Muslim community, where he is involved in the Memphis Islamic Center in Cordoba, Muslim Society of Memphis, and Pleasant View Schools. We wish him the best of luck in his new home in Memphis. He will be reading a few verses from the Quran and give a speech. Please welcome Sheikh Yasser Fazaga.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. In the name of Allah, the compassionate, the most merciful, all praise is due to Allah, and may His peace and blessings be upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I begin by greeting you and all of our guests, elected officials, people who are joining us on Zoom, saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and the blessings of Allah be upon all of you. Congratulations on your achievements. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to bless you and guide you and get us all more involved in doing what is right. In the Quran we are taught, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says towards the end of Surah Hud, فَلَوْلَا كَانَ مِنَ الْقُرُونِ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ أُولُو بَقِيَّةٍ يَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْفَسَادِ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا مِّمَّنْ أَنْجَيْنَا مِنْهُمْ وَاتَّبَعَ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مَا أُتْرِفُوا فِيهِ وَكَانُوا مُجْرِمِينَ وَمَا كَانَ رَبُّكَ لِيُهْلِكَ الْقُرَى بِظُلْمٍ وَأَهْلُهَا مُصْلِحُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises that He will not destroy a locality as long as the people in that locality act righteously towards one another. Our job as believers, we believe that a Muslim is a universal citizen. You're a good person, be you in Yemen, be you in Eritrea, be you in Memphis. And we reject the notion that we are told nowadays that we are at this fork and we have to choose to either become Muslims or to become Americans. And that is not true. In fact, we say the better Muslims we become, the better Americans we are. We are not going to make that choice because we do not have to make that choice. A believer is a universal citizen. What is the mark of that believer? Where there is good, we want to be part of it. Where there is evil, we want to see that there is an end that is brought to it. Either that we speak against it, or at least we must denounce it in our heart. And finally, unity is important. Brother just spoke about what is the idea here. The idea is not to bring people, but there is a great deal of blessings and power in numbers. Numbers have to be actualized. Our numbers are only important when we make good use of them. You've got to vote, because voting makes a big, huge difference. Before that, you have to register. Before that, you have to be an enlightened citizen. Once you do this, you hold the elected officials accountable. You make sure that they say what they said they were going to do. You make sure that we elect officials that are actually going to advance the good of our community. And this is what's beautiful about this process. So please make sure into it that we participate, that we facilitate, that we continue to help our family members, community members here as well as abroad. And we always pray and say, Allahumma ja'alna mafatih al-khayr ya Allah, maghaliq al-shar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always make us facilitators for peace and justice. Facilitators for peace and justice, not only for the people who are like us, but also for the people who may not be like us. Facilitators for peace and justice, not only for the people who like us, but also for the people who do not like us. And that's really what we want to be doing. هذا والله أعلم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Good afternoon. Let me just say, first of all, to Mr. Samir Al-Kabash, I would like to say congratulations to you in your new position as president of the Yemen American Association. As well, I certainly would like to express my appreciation for the possible collaboration and inclusive of the faith-based sector for business development that enhances the lives of the great people of the beautiful city of Memphis, as well as Shelby County. And certainly when we're able to sit down and have conversations one with another, it enhances the life for betterment of not just some people, but for all people. So again, we look forward to conversations to help enhance Memphis and Shelby County. God blessings to you.
And that you're a member of the board of directors of the YWCA of Greater Memphis, Lane College Board of Trustees and President of Equitable Wisdom. So I'd like to pass any time you'd like to say something.
Thank you, Adam. Good afternoon. And on behalf of the CME College of Bishops, the general officers, and our entire denomination, we congratulate the president on the inauguration today. The CME Church is indeed headquartered here in Memphis. We celebrate our 150th anniversary this past December 16th. And at our headquarters, we do house a number of businesses, and businesses are able to rent from our headquarters there. We have more than 1.2 million members across the U.S., Jamaica, and 14 African nations. If there's anything we can do with you or assist you to have further collaboration, we'd be willing to do that. And we just again celebrate you today on your inauguration. And thank you for having me today.
Thank you, Dr. Naywood. But see the congressman hasn't came in. I'm not sure if the congressman's gonna make it, but I do still want to pay him some respect for all the service he's put to the communities. He's dedicated his life to public service. We're talking about Congressman Steve Cohen, I apologize. He's dedicated his life to public service at a local, state, and national level. He is a fourth-generational Memphian who has fought relentlessly for equal rights for all throughout his political career. Congressman Cohen co-sponsored the Fairness for High-Skilled Immigrants Act, and throughout this nationwide pandemic, him and his colleagues have offered many COVID-19 resources that continue to provide relief to those suffering in these trying times. So I just wanted to say thanks to Congressman Cohen. I know he's not here. Hopefully we can get together with him sometime. Moving forward, Councilwoman Patrice Robinson joined in on the call just recently. I want to acknowledge her and the service she's done. She served as a council chairperson in 2020 prior to her being elected as the Memphis City Council District 3 representative. Robinson served as a member of the Memphis Shelby County School Board of Education for 13 years, where she held the title of board president in 2004 and 2007. As a board member, she distinguished herself by chairing the policy, personnel, audit, and capital improvements committees, as well as an active participant on the Prevailing Wages Commission. So thank you, Councilwoman Robinson, for being here. We pass it over to you if you'd like to add anything or show your support. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to not just the city of Memphis, but in your own meeting today, to just say that we, the Memphis City Council and Councilwoman Robinson, celebrate your new president and your organization as well. We thank you for your service to our community, and we look forward to working with you in the future as we grow and develop. I want you to remember to stay safe during your meeting, wash your hands often, keep your distance, and get your vaccinations. You can always call our library system at 211 if you have any questions. If you can also visit our city website, COVID-19, memphistennessee.gov, or call 222-7468. We also have another number or a way to connect with us if you know anyone in your community that needs help with their rent, utilities, or mortgage assistance. They can log on, to home901.org. home901.org. Any other questions of me, you're welcome to call me personally in the council chambers, and I'd be more than happy to serve you. God bless.
Councilwoman Patrice, would you be open to somebody asking a question to you? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, awesome, great.
Ms. Patrice Robinson, Councilwoman, thank you for attending today. I know that you're over the district of Whitehaven. There's a lot of communities that live in Whitehaven. We also have a mosque, Masjid al-Muslimin over there located in Whitehaven. We also recently, one of our members opened a warehouse, NTC, major wholesale grocer with over 34,000 square feet. I also own properties over in excess of over $2 million in that area, and I was president corridor. Ma'am, we need to know what the city of Memphis is willing to do for the Yemen community as far as incentives to also drive, bring some Yemenis from other communities like New York, California, or Detroit, where there's a large concentration of Yemeni population. We want to build Memphis. We want to work hard. We want to align ourselves with the business community here and community leaders. So going forward, what could you do for us? And if there's anything that the city can offer, and going forward, what can they offer?
So first, let me say we need to have a meeting so that I can introduce you to the players. One in District 3 in the Whitehaven area, because my area not just covers Whitehaven. I started Elvis Presley Boulevard and go all the way over to Riverdale in the Hickory Hill area. I have approximately 42% of all industry in my district. You do know that the airport sits right in the middle of it. I have several major businesses as well as small businesses. We have in the Whitehaven community an organization called the Greater Whitehaven Economic Redevelopment Corporation. They're there to assist you to and lead you to the lending institutions, what's available in the city of Memphis through our EDGE board, to connect you to the Memphis Chamber of Commerce. And I am a person that's on the ground every day. If you would call me and give me a tour of where you are and talk to me about what you're trying to accomplish, I can give you more assistance.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you. We will be in touch with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Branch, for that. Appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and move forward to closer to the inauguration ceremony part of it. I want to have the Board of Trustees, Fidel Doma, give a speech, and then we'll go ahead and move on to the inauguration ceremony. Thank you. No, it's good. See?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيد الخلق وآله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد، السادة رئيس وأعضاء الهيئة الإدارية، الأخوة أعضاء مجلس الأمناء، الأخوة أعضاء الجمعية العمومية للجالية اليمنية في الجنوب المتوسط، الحاضرون جميعا، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إنني أقف أمامكم بهذا اليوم العرس الديمقراطي الذي سيتحقق به حلم كل شاب يمني بمدينة منفس وما جاورها، وهو يوم تنصيب رئيس الجالية والهيئة الشبابية لإدارة الجمعية اليمنية في الجنوب المتوسط. وكما يأسفني للانقسامات في صفوف أبناء الجالية الواحدة، ومن هذا المنبر وبصفتي رئيس أمناء الجالية الذي منحتموني إياها بثقة أبناء الجالية جميعا، أدعو لتوحيد الصف وعلى جميع الفرقاء الرجوع إلى وحدة وصف أبناء الجالية. والذي يحل كل مغترب يمني، والله عز وجل يقول: واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا. صدق الله العظيم. وكما يعلم الجميع، في وحدتنا أسسنا الجمعية ومرينا في مرحلة تأسيسية، والذي تعلمنا منها بدون تعاون الجميع لا نساوي شيء. لذلك أصرح أمامكم بأنني وزملائي في مجلس الأمناء نتعهد لكم جميعا أن نتعاون مع الهيئة الإدارية ممثلة برئاسة الأخ الأستاذ سمير الكبش رئيس الجالية، وجميع طاقم الهيئة الإدارية، سنعمل معهم بكل ما نستطيع على تحسين أوضاع أبناء الجالية في كل المجالات، وعلى البر والتقوى وفعل الخير والإصلاح بين الناس وحل مشاكلهم ومساعدتهم في كل ما يمكننا فعله دون أي انحياز أو تمييز، وأننا سنبذل كل جهد لترسيخ مبدأ الأخوة والمحبة وإصلاح ذات البين. بين جميع أبناء الجالية بكل ما نملك من جهد ابتغاء من وجه الله عز وجل، راجين منه أن يعيننا ويكتب لنا التوفيق في كل قول وعمل. كما إننا نتعهد لكم أن نكون العين الساهرة على مصالح وممتلكات الجالية وكل أنشطتها، وأن نؤدي واجبنا الرقابي والإشرافي حسب ما ينص عليه الدستور دون أي تسامح أو تخاذل عن أي تجاوزات. وأننا في مجلس الأمناء وأخواننا في مجلس الهيئة الإدارية جميعا واجبنا الأساسي نحوكم هو خدمتكم، والمطلوب منكم الوقوف معنا ومساندتنا ودعمنا بكل ما يلزم، فاليد الواحدة لا تستطيع التسبيق. ولا أرى أن مهام رئيس الجالية الأخ الأستاذ سمير الكبش ستكون سهلة إن لم نقف معه، كون الجمعية ما زالت تحتاج دعمكم. وفي الختام وباسم مجلس الأمناء والهيئة الإدارية أتقدم بخالص الشكر إلى إخواني في اللجنة الانتخابية ممثلة برئيس اللجنة الأستاذ عصام الشيباني وجميع أفراد اللجنة الذين أنجزوا هذا المشروع بكل جدارة وتدبير. وكما أشكر أخواني من أبناء الجمعية العمومية الذي شاركونا انتخابات رئاسة الجالية. وفي الأخير لا يسعني إلا شكركم جميعا لحسن استماعكم، وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
I want to congratulate all the incoming officials of the Yemen American Association. It's an honor to be elected. It's an honor to be a representative and to represent your fellow Americans and American of Yemeni descent. So this is a special day for you, and I thank you. I have the special honor of being your congressman. At least most of you. Shelby County's got 2 congressmen, but I've got most of Memphis and Millington, and I'm proud to represent this area in Congress. We've been working hard in passing the president's rescue plan, $1.9 trillion for relief, for economic and physical relief, where we'll have more vaccinations ability, more testing and more tracing, and helping businesses and people who have suffered through this pandemic that has affected our economy, as well as other areas that are important concerning healthcare, nutrition for people who have fallen on hard times. So a lot of important things in that bill. We've also been working on some foreign policy issues. The president is not anything like the former president. President Biden is a good human being. He cares about all people, and he wants America and pledged that America will return to a leadership role among the countries of the world, putting America's values where they have been in the past, favoring democracy and humanity, humanitarian grounds, and caring about others, and not being just basically a pawn of the Saudi government, which is what the Trump administration was, which I think was for the benefit of the Trump family. The president will look into the awful situation in Yemen with the Saudi influenced and directed war, which has killed many civilians. And I've written a letter to the president and urging him to continue in that vein, to look into other issues involved there to protect human rights. This has been a disaster, for a humanitarian disaster, and it's all been for the Saudi government, really, and the UAE. So we're working on that, and I know that the State Department will be in different hands, which it should be, and I'm pleased for that as well. So with that as a welcome, I'm a little late. If you have some questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
Thank you, Congressman.
Yeah, we do have a question for you. I'm glad you did make it. I know you were a little late, you said, but it's okay. And we appreciate you taking your time out of your day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Congressman, thank you.
Happening.
We appreciate
I didn't-
you attending today. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Mr. Congressman, thank you for coming today. We appreciate your attendance. We're honored to have you join us today as we build the Yemen American Association and the community here in the metropolitan Memphis area. Sir, this is a great day, and we're, in a celebratory mood. However, in the back of our minds, we have families left in Yemen. And as you touched on, the disaster that has happened since the war began. There are some members here who have lost loved ones. There are some members who have lost loved ones, and they're suffering. And you know the situation well because you mentioned it and you touched on it. It touched our heart that you're aware of the situation. We thank you for that. My question, sir, is what is the Biden administration and yourself and the Congress are going to do to stop this senseless war? It's been going on for far too long. Too many lives have been lost. Children are suffering. People are crying. And women are losing their children, their husbands, as they suffer continuously, with the world turning a blind eye to their situation. Now, sir, the other situation that we have is we have an international airport that has been closed for almost 6 years now. Whenever one of us want to travel and visit family, we have to take dangerous routes from mountain to mountain to get to them. And the other situation is that we need a U.S. embassy to represent the U.S. citizens here that are in America, who are over 250,000 in the U.S. And as you know, Shelby County, Michigan, Wayne County, Michigan is mostly of Yemen population. We have a huge population there, and they all voted for Biden. We have a strong voice here in New York, Michigan, and California. We need your help and your colleagues in Congress and the president to stop the senseless war, open a U.S. embassy to facilitate the travel of the Yemenis, and so they can bring their families instead of them having to travel from country to country trying to bring their loved ones here. We thank you, we appreciate you, and that's the most important question that every Yemeni person has in this audience. Thank you, sir.
It's been my privilege to learn more about the community, and I didn't know there were 2,500 members. That's a significant group in our community. And I can tell from the applause, you've got a nice crowd there as well. The president has made clear that he's going to change the direction of the policy of the United States towards the war in Yemen, and it's not going to be supportive of the Saudi UAE directed and controlled war effort. Trump team was totally into it. I mean, the first country they visited was Saudi Arabia, and the last places that he visited and Secretary of Treasury Mnuchin visited, and I think Secretary of State Pompeo was on the same basic itinerary, was to go to Saudi Arabia. I think there was more interest there in their personal futures and financial successes. That's where Kushner went. And that's not the way American foreign policy has ever been that I'm aware of, and never should be, that it's directed by the personal avarice of the administration and their families. So that's going to end. And President Biden has made that clear that we're going to end the U.S. participation in that war effort. And I sent this letter to him seeking those answers to the remaining questions about the administration's Yemen policy. But also we're concerned about what Pompeo had done. And last year I sent a letter to him expressing concerns about his Houthi movement, designating that as a foreign terrorist organization. That shouldn't have been the case. And we need to deliver vital humanitarian aid. So I think there's going to be a total 180 on the American policy toward Yemen. And if you keep me informed, although I do have a foreign policy advisor in Washington, my ears will be open to you for any issues of particular importance to the community.
Thank you, Congressman Cohen. I think you answered that question great. We look forward, the Yemen American Association of Mid-South looks forward to working with you and your colleagues to build those ties and bring good out of all of this. So thank you again for coming. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. And once again, congratulations to not only the leadership, but to the membership that has such fine leadership. Thank you and good night.